A gold digger test, the new way that men are tricking women on dates. A troubling new trend is on the rise that sees men trick women to find out if they're just after the money. Growing number of people in the dating world are reporting troubling new phenomenon. Deliberate situations where one person gauges the other's financial intentions by unexpectedly make them pay, setting traps to see if they're more interested in money than I feel like
Troubling
that's not
to
new.
who?
The guy.
Yeah. No, no, this is troubling to the women.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the women are troubled by such a...
Troubled by the gold diggers. Troubled by the hoes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. The hoes are troubled?
I'm sorry. Yeah, they don't like guys fucking playing with them like this.
That is so. You are right that they're just like ladies. We have this big problem where men are trying to find out if we'll ever pay for a date.
Yeah, and if we're gold diggers or not. So what happens? The guys get them to pay?
Yeah, the guy forgets his wallet.
Oh,
you want to
gotcha.
do? I've been on a few dates with this guy. Things were going well. He'd cover dinner, grab drinks. One evening, he invited me out for a casual frozen yogurt date. When it came to weigh the yogurts, he rushed ahead to pay while I was still mid-drizzle. I was shocked, having to awkwardly weigh and pay for mine just moments later. While he hovered next to me, we ate in silence. He acted like nothing happened. So, that's not a good way to do it, is you pay for just yours.
Yeah, that is. The problem is there you set this precedent, and then she's like, what's going on here? Like, a woman, actually not...
This girl fucking had to pay for a $6 yogurt and wrote a whole article about it.
I know, but I could see how a woman would be like, oh, you were paying the whole time and now you stopped, so it's like, oh, you don't like me anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're about to break up with me or something.
No, you have to
that would
forget.
fuck with a woman's head.
You have to forget your wallet. You have to oh, you know what? Do you mind me do you want to go grab that and I'll go do this?
Sure.
Oh yeah, the movies. You know what? I'm gonna park. Do you mind? You want to go and grab the tickets? I'll go park.
Exactly.
And if they give, are you gonna give me money? You you're never gonna pay for a single thing ever.
Correct. Yeah, that's a better scientific experiment, I think.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You mind grabbing a couple of drinks?
Right. Yeah.
Yo, do you mind grabbing me this? I'm gonna
just like a normal thing, and then if they're like, oh, what? Then you're like, okay. But yeah, this one was not a good.
That one was brutal.
I mean, she wrote a blog about it, paying for.
That's a guy that's not getting pushed around. You rush in front and buy your own yogurt separately, like a weirdo.
Yeah, but he already bought her a bunch of shit.
I know, we had a lot in common, great conversation, but when the $100 check arrived, the tone shifted, and hold on. Like Danny said, it's hard to read these articles. She was prepared to split the bill, but was instead handed the entire amount and asked, is it all right if you pay for this? She was caught off guard, unbothered by the amount, but she agreed. Right after I paid, he grinned and said, congratulations, you passed the test. You're not a gold digger.
She goes, can I have the money? He goes, no.
No. But it's so funny. The only reason we have all this information is girls literally went on one day they had to pay for something and wrote a fucking...
It's like her literally villain arc. She's become this whole new... dedicated her life to exposing these men.
I mean, that is insane to say to someone congratulations, you passed the test.
Yeah. I remember when all the fucking feminist liberal shit was going on, so it was full steam, and then go out for dinner with chick, and then they just give them the bill. There was this period where there's this period where specifically the server,
female server,
not even always, but yeah, mostly female servers would hand the woman the bill, and I'm just like, all right. She's not paying.
And also, it's so funny because it puts them in the worst position because then they have to specifically hand it to you.
Sure, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. They're gonna be slide it over to you, or you have to grab it like a bitch. Be like, yeah.
I mean, the best would be the server gives it to the girl, and then you go, "Oh, you'd rather her pay? Okay."
Yeah, I wonder.
And then you put the server in a situation where you just let them know, "Hey, you just fucked her over."
Yeah. I wonder if the server ever was registering how often the woman actually did pay for the bill when she did that kind of thing. You know what? Yeah, because probably wasn't a lot.
I mean, I wish I was in those situations right now because there's so many funny things you could do where the server gives it to the bill, the girl, and you go, "Hey, I appreciate that."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And you go, "Hey, thanks for that."
One of the boys.
Yeah, you're right. I did grab the last couple of things. I appreciate that.
Yeah, she's a bit of a gold digger now that you fucking mention it.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I have paid for the last 5. That's actually really nice of you. I thank you for having me. You're one of the bros, honestly.
She'll leave you a good tip, a real nice tip.
Yeah, she'll leave
25%, maybe 30. Actually, do 30.
Yeah, she definitely
30.
That's interesting. I tip good, but she's got it this time. You're right. I was getting too carried away with the tipping, so it is probably better that she handled this one. When she probed him about his comment, he admitted that he'd been burned by an ex who expected him to foot every bill. Now he tests every woman to ensure his mother.
That probably doesn't work out for him either. There's other ways to do it.
It's not an epidemic. It's a couple of weirdos.
Yeah, it's not an epidemic. I mean, definitely most women just, they don't want to pay for stuff.
Christine Rapp is sex and relationship expert for Womanizer. So she sees this as symptomatic of a broader cultural shift. The rise in gold digger tests reflects the growing gender divide and rhetoric on social media. Alpha male podcasters suggesting heterosexual women only want the top 10% of socially, financially, and physically attracted men. Well, you have to... When you're saying that, you're just like, there's this crazy idea that women like want men to pay for everything, and now they're testing it. It's like, well, do they?
Yeah, do they?
Yeah, but they're not really commenting on whether it's true or not.
Also, guys kind of paid for everything without any issue, and then women started like complaining about all the quality shit, and they're like, okay, well then part of equality is like pick up some bills, and they're like, no,
well, that was
not that kind of equality.
Yeah, that was obviously the shift came from them being like, we're rejigging the deal, and you're like, okay, we can rejig the deal, but like we're gonna rejig a lot of parts.
Yeah, exactly.
Some other parts are gonna get rejigged as well.
Financial parts.
Yeah. You're not gonna fucking just up the good and not remove any of the bad. Like, stop it.
Deal.
This baseless theory was like, what? The baseless theory that like women are gold diggers?
Baseless theory that women prefer men to pay for dinners.
What's the baseless part? Popularized by Andrew Tate. I mean, I think they're talking about the theory that that a lot of women want the top 10% of men, and you're just like, I mean, it doesn't mean they get them, but
it doesn't mean they get them. Also, I'm pretty
men like the top 10% of women.
You find a lot of evolutionary biologists who go, yeah, that's just a fact. That's
what's the weird part about it?
In the animal world too, probably.
Or any time that they didn't have, people partner up.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, you get one guy with. Andrew Tate and his followers encourages men to be suspicious of women's intentions. Whereas me, the relationship expert for Womanizer, knows that no women are ever up to anything ever.
No, never. I mean, the male equivalent is you go to dinner and she's wearing something a little too loose and you're like, what the fuck is going on under there?
Yeah.
You go, I can't really... I don't know what I'm getting here.
That's their the OG trickery of what the fuck does that body look like?
Exactly. That's what the guy's version of it is. You go, what is happening under there?
Financially, what's going on with this guy?
Yeah.
Leading them to test financial expectations by making women pay for dates, lying about their jobs to see if they'll stay interested. This is worsened by increasing rhetoric online and tradition and gender roles. I mean, the truth is, though, it's the bottom line is if you're a guy that has money, you're just like, I can compete with other guys by, flexing money or whatever. Mm-hmm. And people have made this argument too. Like if there's like a guy that's successful with money and you're like, oh, she likes you because of that. And you're just like, okay, well, I have that. So that is part of me. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're just a guy that was like, you just had this like huge inheritance, then you didn't feel like you earned it or something.
Maybe. Yeah. And a lot of guys are just like adverse to that. By the way, did you just tap the table because it was 4:44?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to sure. I saw you tap the table and then I looked at the clock and go, but it's 4:45.
I do it. You know what it is? It's my one superstition.
Oh, you do it so casually too. Where I'm like, how many times have I missed this in the past? I probably never knew because you didn't tell me about it.
I know. I made a stink about it on the podcast.
I never caught it, and then you told me about it, and I think that's the first time I've ever seen it in the wild.
Bad luck.
Oh shit! All right, it kind of threw me off. I was like, I literally couldn't even concentrate on what you were saying because I just sat around and go.
You have to tap however many the things is. Oh. That's what you don't want is when you get like 555. That's the highest it goes, I guess.
555, yeah. You can't go past 555. Well,
no, yeah.
Yeah, well, you only have another hour, and then you're good for a while.
I only catch about one a day.
Mm. All right. Well, you're off the clock in an hour. Yeah, shit. That's funny. All right.
I can't remember what I was going to say. Advocating a return for traditional gender roles, especially in modern heterosexual relationships. I'd estimate some men go on multiple dates a week with different women. It adds up. The days of dating slowly and investing time into one person are almost done. So even if a guy earns well, it's hundreds of dollars per week if he pays for every date. Well, that's what girls say. That's what I was going to say. That a lot of girls will be like, go to the first date with not that much makeup so he knows what you're actually working with. And you're
mean, that would be great. Yeah, good fucking luck with that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're asking for millions and millions of people to cross a picket line, not cross a picket line.
Exactly.
To get pussy.
Yeah, there's tons of women who are like, I'm not doing that. I'm not risking not looking my best. Are you crazy?
This is too, because you're just like there isn't a lot of guys on dates aren't like, oh, I'm looking for like a long-term thing. There's so many guys that are just like, yeah, if that happens, but it's like, I'd like to smash tonight.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, whenever I went on I never really went on first dates with chicks to restaurants, but at bars, you're like, yeah, this is a down payment right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, this is, as long as you kind of get a good sense of what's going on, you go, this is money well spent.
The choosy swipe right report supports this, says Australians aged 18 to 49 spend an average of $158 a date, with men estimating 233 and women 101. What are the women spending money on dates for?
I guess maybe the ones that are expected to pick up something.
When a person sets a trap to see if the other person will pass, they establish distrust, undermines emotional intimacy and connection. Yeah, I would imagine women not like traps being set up, because then they are like, if this got really popular, they're like, they always have to pay because they think they might be they might be walking into a trap.
Also, you can't. It's so stupid to be like to tell them immediately afterwards. Like, no chick is gonna like that. You passed my gold digger trip.
You're not going to get pussy with that.
That is not a pussy.
You have passed the test.
That is not pussy getting
Now, when you go to the bathroom, there's going to be two trolls. One will be lying and one will be telling the truth.
Yeah, it's just not pussy getting behavior.
That is definitely not. That's opposite. That's repellent.
Yeah, it's repellent.
When discussing these topics, share your vulnerabilities rather than projecting insecurities onto your date. Also, don't share your vulnerabilities. No. See that video of Shaq going viral, talking about how he goes, I never fucking tell a woman my problems ever. She'll just throw it back in your face.
Of course, as they do. Again, that's to want to talk about traps, is women being like,
I know
it's good to tell us your vulnerabilities.
I don't tell them vulnerabilities, but I am pretty like, I say everything I think. So
yeah,
I don't hold a ton back from women.
But you're not like...
I don't maybe not.
Yourself looking like a huge bitch.
No, I'm not making myself looking like a huge bitch.
That's what they want, though.
But I don't totally subscribe to the idea that like, don't tell a woman your problem. I usually think like, you're like, there might be something truth to that, but you're like, I'm not usually, anytime I've been with a woman, I'm not like teetering on the edge of she's gonna lose all respect for me. You know what I mean?
No, this is early on stuff, obviously.
Yeah, I'm never like, but even
once
then,
you're in the mix, it's different. But like when you're kind of,
I do find that it doesn't help though. I do find like talking about any issues you're having or problems with a chick, like I don't find that like it's causing me any issues, but I do find it doesn't help.
No, it doesn't help. The worst is if you have any sort of problem and then they're like, oh, time to talk about our problems, and you go, oh god,
that's the other part of it. You're just opening a door to be talked to.
Yeah, you're just like, all right, so then great, this is lovely, now we just are fucking chit-chatting.
Yeah, and you can't make a point of it either where you're like, oh, I just don't want to talk about it doesn't help. Like if you say that to them, that'll also bother them, so you just have to say everything everything's fine always, forever, till you die.
It's always fine.
That's how you
bottle that shit up until the heart stops beating.
That's being a man, you know what I'm saying? If you find yourself testing someone's motives before meeting, she says you should reflect on whether this suspicion comes from your own experience or unreliable sources. There's not an unreliable, it's like they're saying two things at once. They're kind of being like, there's unreliable sources, and this is this weird thing that people are making up that some women don't want to ever fucking pull the wallet out. And you're like, okay, but that part's true.
Yeah, that was like,
it is also true that it's gay to do tests.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially, what you're going for. Like, again, if you're like, oh, I'm trying to find myself a trustworthy wife.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to smash, none of this stuff.
That's true. There's a bit of a distinction.
None of this stuff.
And fucking rich for women to be like, doing tests is bad. They're testing right, left, and center.
Of course. Non-stop. They're like, you didn't hold the door open for me.
That was a test. Flowers. I always get fucking crushed on not holding the door open.
Oh, really?
I just don't do it.
I do. I don't know.
I do it sometimes, like the same way I would do with like anyone. It's like, it's like sometimes it's
sure,
but it's like I'm not fucking waiting 3 seconds.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like. I just don't have like old school etiquette. If we walk to an Uber, I fucking go do your door first.
No, I'm not doing your door first. I told you I had that one.
They like it though.
Retarded. I had that one chick.
I've been accused of being rude.
Yeah, I had this one chick who like literally was like made me hold their door open in my car to get in, and I was like, this is over.
Yeah, stop it.
This is the end of it.
Yeah.
It was like a second date. I wouldn't hold the door open.
They want that stuff, and it's ridiculous.
I'll hold the door. I mean, I just hold doors. That's just like a natural thing to hold doors. But I mean, you know.
If it's natural, yeah.
Yeah, it's natural. But realistically, you got to be pretty close to me.